Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vanessa and I'm an author from Toronto, Canada, and I publish under the pen name and Sage. I write fantasy, mystery, a whole bunch of genres, getting into romantasy now. And on this channel, what I like to do is kind of share with you my journey as an author, things that I learned, tools that I start to use, books that inspire me, and pretty much anything that kind of helps me in my author career as I navigate the ever-changing waters of publishing. So if that sounds like something that you would like to be a part of, then make sure that you are subscribed and that you hit the bell notification. And if you are already subscribed, then you are super awesome and welcome back. So I was planning a completely different video this week. I was planning to do a release party. I have a book that just came out. I really hope you can go and check it out. It's called Fairy in the Mourning. It is the second book in my Miss Brooke Manor Cozy Mysteries, and it is about a fairy in hiding who runs a funeral home and stumbles on a secret society of undertakers that solve crimes and kind of all the shenanigans that they get up to. This one is really fun because there is a sunken ship and a treasure hunt and a whole bunch of other really fun stuff. So I hope you can check it out. I really wanted to do a release party like we usually do. I wanted to read an excerpt and kind of like celebrate with you guys, show off the book, do all that. But I can't do that because of a couple of things. So number one, I haven't received the physical books from my publisher yet. They are stuck in shipping, which has been an issue lately, I think, with everything that's going on in the world. And then the second reason is that I have a 3-year-old who is essentially like a walking germ collector, and she got sick and she got the rest of us sick. And so I'm sure you can hear from my voice, which sounds very different than what it normally does, is that I am kind of in the midst of a really bad like cold flu situation. So, needless to say, I don't want to be on camera right now. I look gross. So I hope you guys can bear with me. But I thought we could do a different video. I didn't want to miss another video because we missed one last week. And so I thought I would catch you up on my reading. So I have this reading journal that I share with you guys from time to time. My planners are not fun anymore. I used to do like all different planning type of stuff. But right now, I can actually kind of show you what I'm using for my planner. For now, I'm just using a 2025 live term notebook, and that's kind of like where I'm working. So I don't have fun planners, and I'm planning to stick to that kind of system for a while because I just need like something less wild in my life as far as like planning my day is concerned. So I don't have something fun to share there, but I do have this reading journal, and this is where my creativity for stationery really comes out because I do regular monthly pages and book pages and all of that. And while I don't get to read a lot, like usually, sorry about my voice again. Usually I can get through like 2 books a month because I only read when I put my daughter to bed and kind of in the evenings. So I I definitely like to decorate though the few books that I do read, and I like to write my notes on them and what I thought. And so I thought we could go through my most recent ones because it's been a few months now that we've done this, and talk about some of the books I read and what I'm reading this month, and I can give you like some of my opinions on it. I will keep this very positive because I don't like even books I didn't like. I don't like to bash them, and so I will give you my opinion. If it wasn't positive, I will still give it in a positive type of spin. So this is the journal that I use. This is an Archer and Olive bullet journal, and I think it's perfect. It's got this like dark academia book vibe on the front. It's beautiful. I crocheted this cover for it. If you don't know, I am huge on crocheting and knitting. Come see me on my other channel. It's very, very new. It's it's a tiny baby channel. But I talk about knitting and crocheting there a lot. If that sounds like something that you want to do, I'll link it in the description. But this is the journal that I have. I have an entire setup of this already filmed, so you can go check that out. And I believe that we left off, I think we did February already. I believe we did that one, and we talked about this. I did since finish reading Spirit Hunters, and I really, really love this. It was a 5-star read for me, especially for a middle grade. So maybe we can talk about that first. So you saw probably the spread that I already did, but I think at the time of filming the last video, I haven't talked about the actual book. And I think it's a really, really great middle grade book. It had good themes in it. It was very real and quite raw for a middle grade book. It deals with a haunted house, a ghost, and all of that stuff. But there's a lot of things that kids deal with in this book that normally I don't see in middle grade books when it comes to more like paranormal types of books. And so I really, really like that. I really like the main character because she was quite flawed in her own way. And I really enjoyed seeing a kid that wasn't like some perfect kid on paper. It just felt very human. And I really, really enjoyed that. I did talk about this one already. And so I think March and April, and then when I'm reading this month of May, we can talk about in this video. So this is my March spread. As you can see, my stats are non-existent. You'll see that going forward. I think I'm going to eliminate this box because I read only on my ebook now. And like, I don't know what originally I was planning. I'll have to go back and watch my first video. I don't know what I was planning to put in here, but like I read an ebook, and so I can't count pages, and I don't have the time to really do that. So I think I'm eliminating this box going forward, and I'm just going to keep it to like fave book and just fun deco and this calendar so I can see what I'm reading and when I read it. So I didn't read Don't Flinch. I moved that over because I think originally it was supposed to come out maybe in March, and maybe the publication got pushed. So it's not coming out till later. This is the Stephen King one. So I'm going to be reading that later in the year when it does finally actually come out. I think it's June now. So that got moved, but I did read 3 books. So I finished End of Story, which is this AJ Finn one, and I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought it was really fun. I kind of talked about it already before, I believe. It was a really good little like mystery. And then the other one that I read was You Are Fatally Invited, and this was a book club read. So I am in a book club for the Red Herrings Society, which is a mastermind of writers group that I am in, and it's wonderful there. And we have our own book club, and it's really fun. I'm running it. So You Are Fatally Invited is the book that we read. And we will discuss that in this video. And then I also read Witchcrafts for Wayward Girls, which has been on my list forever. I'm really excited to get to it this month. So You Are Fatally Invited. I'm not sure you can tell from the stars. This was not for me. I was super excited to read this book. I was the one who recommended that we read it in the book club, and other people were really excited to read it as well. For me, this kind of missed the mark. I wish it did, because as you can see, I wanted to give it 3, and then I kind of was like, no, I think it's a 2 for me. It wasn't interesting. I'm not gonna say it was really well written. The writing was really good. For me, because I write mystery, I think I was expecting a different kind of mystery. This one was very slow moving, and I felt that the beats that you would expect in a closed door kind of like Agatha Christie, and then there were none type of setting, they weren't hit for me. They were just kind of missing. I found some parts a little too predictable. And again, this is probably because I write mystery, and so I kind of, that's in the back of my head when I read. But it just wasn't for me. It did start very good for me, and I think it didn't progressively like it stopped working for me personally. Again, I keep saying for me personally, but the writing was really well done. I just felt that I couldn't connect to any of the characters, and to be honest with you, from my opinion, they were all quite terrible people, and so I was basically on the killer side for all of this, which I don't know if that's what you want to be in a mystery book. So that was that. And then we get to my 5-star read, which was my favorite read. And this was Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. This is the spread I did for it because this was set in like the 70s, like 60s, like 70s, but early 70s. And it was like super psychedelic and fun. I love this book. So Grady Hendrix is a one-click buy from me. Always, I loved every single book so far. This was no exception. I will say that if you are expecting a Grady Hendrix horror type book, like kind of like How to Sell a Haunted House and all of those, this was not like that. This for me felt very much like a study of like feminism in the 70s and like female power and like girls trying to take the power over their lives and their bodies back from like people who control it. That's what it felt like to me. The horror and paranormal part, the witchcraft part, was minimally interwoven. It came up more so later, but it was more like symbolic than it was like actual. Like, I mean, there's no like dolls chasing you around the house and poking your eyes out with needles in this one, if you've read the other book I'm referring to of Grady's. For me, this hit the mark in every single way. The writing was fantastic. Like, it really, like, it was executed flawlessly, which I wouldn't suspect anything else. And I just really loved the themes. I loved the character, like all of these characters. So that was the difference for me between these characters and these characters, is that even though these characters, some of them were not really great and like and good, I could connect to them so deeply. Whereas these characters here, I was kind of like, well, I guess, you know, he or she's dead and I could care less. But in this book, like, I connected with every single person on the page, and that was remarkable, I think. So this was a high recommend for me if you're looking for a book. So now we get into April, and as you will see, did not have I feel like I will say that my luck is turning around in May, but I feel like I have not had like a favorite book situation in the last couple of months. I've read a few duds for me personally. Again, I keep saying for me personally. So I will say that in my defense, I did not have a lot of time to read. So I read The Tempest of Tea, which was another book club pick. And this one has also been on my list. I almost bought the hardcover. I didn't. I read this in ebook again. So I read The Tempest of Tea, and I read Kickstarter for authors, because if you haven't heard, I am going to be running a really cool collector's edition of Cortega. I'm re-releasing Cortega as like one big massive single book. I've reworked it so that it kind of ends in the right spot now. And it's all just like a wrapped up story with no continuation from the first two books. And I'm going to be releasing that on Kickstarter in June, I'm hoping. I'm just waiting to get my copy in the mail to make sure it's all good and to film a video of it. And the campaign is pretty much built, and I'm very, very eager to get it going. So please stay tuned, because it would be awesome if you'd want to support that. There's different levels of tiers that you can get to, so you don't have to get the special edition if you don't want to. I will also have a paperback, like a standard paperback, as an early release of the book, and an ebook as well. But anyways, so on that. So I did read Kickstarter for Authors. So if you are thinking of running a Kickstarter, by the way, as an author, there is a great book on a great Facebook group. It's called Kickstarter for Authors. And the person running it wrote a book called Kickstarter for Authors. And you can get it for free if you sign up for the newsletter, if you're in the group and all of that. And it was a really wonderful research. So I guess I could say that this was a fave book of mine, but I do try to put like fiction fave books here, not nonfiction. But if I had to pick, then Kickstarter for Authors would have been it for me, because I found that there was like a bunch of stuff there that was really useful, and it had a checklist that I thought was really helpful. Now, Tempest of Tea was the fiction book I read. As you can see, it took me a very long time to read it, and I will kind of discuss why in a second. But let's talk about the stickers. So this is the April theme. These are some stickers that I have from Sticky Club. I'm using up all my stickers that I have because my planners are no longer super creative. So I'm doing it here. This is like a vintage kind of antique book situation, and I really, really liked it. I thought it was a cute April theme, just because I'm doing like a lot of work on the back end on my own books, and I thought that worked. So that's the setup. Nothing major, lots of stickers, cool colors. Let's move on. A Tempest of Tea. So I will say that I love this spread. This is one of my favorite spreads so far that I did. I just really like it. It's kind of minimal, but I think it really works in showcasing the book cover. And the book cover for this book is gorgeous, stunning, loved it. Like, I adore it. It's so beautiful. I have been looking forward to reading this book a lot. I mean, the premise itself is like there's vampires, and it feels like kind of like Victorian, almost like historical in a way. There's a they gave it like Peaky Blinders type of vibes. That's what it was like kind of compared to, like the main character was compared to like a Peaky Blinders type of situation. So what's not to love, right? The secret tea houses, like all of it spoke to me in so many ways. Unfortunately, again, for me personally, it didn't hit the mark. There's like a big, almost info dumpy world building at the beginning, where they talked about like the vampires and how the world and the magic and all that came about. And after that, it was basically a heist book, which I kind of wish I knew, because I'm not a huge fan of heist books, to be honest with you. And I kind of wish I knew that going into it. Like, it was a heist book. The heist itself was just like a regular heist. I just feel like I expected so much world building and so much darkness from this book. I mean, you got vampires living with humans, so I expected to see more of that on the page, more of the world on the page. I also like didn't really connect with the characters. Again, I just felt like they were like a little bit flat for me. I didn't, the Peaky Blinders thing, like, totally missed that. I think I didn't get that. I didn't see it, which again, I was looking forward to that, like a female character version, and I didn't get that. So this wasn't for me. However, I am sure that there are a lot of people who loved it, and I am sure that I am kind of like the one of the few that didn't. So not to say it's not, again, not a bad book, wonderfully written, beautiful language. The line work on this was fantastic. The plot for me was just not for me. Then we get into May, where my luck is changing with reading. I am so excited. So I haven't written anything about what I'm reading, but I think when I tell you the books that I'm reading and I talk about them, you'll know why I'm so excited. So let's take this little leaf out of the way. So this is my May setup, again, Sticky Club, and I really like it. I thought it was like perfect for May because it's super like fun, and it's got the greens and the spring and all of that, but there's like reading involved, and I just love it. So I am reading some India Holton books that I have been waiting to read forever. So I'm reading The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love and The Geographer's Map to Romance. I'm reading them back to back. The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love is our book club pick. Again, I recommended it and people were on board. And so far, everybody is loving this book as much as I am. And then I know that I'm immediately going to go in the second in the series, because India Holton for me is like a just kind of writer. Like, I just love these books. I like just Dangerous is it Dangerous Damsels? I think Dangerous Damsels, the series, blew through that so fast, back to back, could not put them down. The humor, the relationship between the characters themselves, the way that the stories are written, the way that the plot moves forward, everything about it is fantastic for me. And so here are my spreads, which I'm super excited about. So the premise of these two books. So I am on the Ornithologist Field Guide to Love. I haven't started the geography map yet. I am almost done with the field guide one, and I should be done this week. And then so hopefully the other one I'll read in the second part of May. So I'll get 2 books in this month, I hope. But the premise is it's rivals to lovers, as it usually a lot of times with India Holton, it's often rivals. She writes like the enemies to lovers trope significantly well, and there is magical birds, and like there are people who study them as professors in universities, and so they trap them and take them away, and they put them like in these protected areas and stuff. And there's basically like ornithologists, people who study the birds, and birds in general. And there's a competition to catch a magical bird. And the person who wins the competition will not just get a huge cash prize, but they will also get tenure at the university. And so it's these 2 professors who are in competition who want to get the bird, and somehow miraculously get teamed up together, where they have to rely on each other to get through the competition as they uncover kind of like the truth and secrets behind the Ornithologist Society. It's all done in good fun. As most of India Holton's books, the magic is so you have to suspend your belief when you read these, but you don't even care just because it's so fun and light and beautifully done. These are the few books that I have recently read where I will find myself literally laughing out loud with no one in the room, because they're just so funny. Like her grasp of humor in like language is, unbelievable, like beyond anything. I will forever recommend every single one of these books. And so as soon as this I knew that this book became available, I'm reading it on Libby, I snagged it, and then I bought this one right away. I didn't even wait for Libby for this one. I was like, I'm just gonna buy it because they're both so good, and I know I'm going to enjoy every single one of them. And so as most of her books, they are romance, obviously. They are standalone. They are they're all set, the series are all set in the same world, and they kind of deal with different characters in each book. And so I'm excited to see who's going to be here. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but because you kind of get introduced to some of the characters throughout the books. And it's just, I am like, again, blowing through them. So this is really great. So that's why I feel like May is my month to take back reading. So that's all I got so far, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry we couldn't do like a full celebration like I thought we would. But if you still want to support Fairy in the Mourning, I'll pop up a little picture of the book cover again here, and I will put the link in the description. I would really love it if you would like to read it and help support me on this author journey. As another single note, so I know somebody commented on the video already. So the platform here has started doing this thing called auto ads, and so they add ads throughout videos of different channels. I have no control over those. I try to schedule manually ads so that they don't interrupt anything, but again, this is out of my control, so I'm sorry if you're seeing more than usual. I will make it known here right now that I make no money basically from this channel. This isn't like some big cash grab that I'm doing. If it feels that way, I'm sorry. But I do try to put out these videos just because I love hanging out here and I love making videos, and they take me hours and hours of work. And it bothers me that ads are so disruptive these days, but there's nothing we can do. I mean, I was watching Prime the other day and had to watch a 3-minute commercial 5 times during a half-an-hour show. Like, that's just where we're at, I think. So again, apologies if you're seeing a lot of them. I wish I could change something. I try to, but at the end of the day, it's not dependent on me. And this is a platform that we're all on, and we kind of have to work with it. So, I thought I would address that because somebody did comment, and I politely explained the same thing, but it's not on me, and it's like, I just wanted to put that out there. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you are reading this month, and if you've read any of these books, and if your opinions differ from mine, I would love to know it too. Please, maybe I completely missed the mark on some of these, and maybe I could reread them with fresh eyes if you've liked some books that I haven't, or vice versa. So do let me know. I do want to chat in the comments. I love talking about books. Clearly, I created a whole book club just for this. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out. If you're still here to the end, you are awesome. And I will see you next week for hopefully a proper face-to-face video. Bye, everyone.